Hi everyone, today I'm gonna show you the patches that I created to play the Wicker Man by Iron Maiden. Hey, what's up everybody, this is Luca, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're gonna talk about the patches that I created on my GE200 in order to try to recreate the sound of the amazing Iron Maiden on the Wicker Man. So, this tone, guys, it was really hard to achieve for whatever reason. I thought it was easier, like as always when I'm thinking that something is easy, then it's not at all. The hardest thing to do was to nail the EQ, and I'm not happy 100% with the results, but this is the best I could do, and I think that anyway it sounds close enough that if you're not paying too much attention, you can think that still can be the original one. But don't pay too much attention. Iron Maiden are famous to use Marshall's JMP1 preamplifier and Marshall's DASL amplifier, the dual super lead. And in the MOOER GE200 you don't have neither of these two models. So I tried at first to use the JCM 800, JCM 900 and the Plexi as well, but it wasn't really that sound that I was searching for. Then I switched to the US Gold 50, the Friedman amplifier, and yeah, that was way better. I think that since these amplifiers as well with the Kali Dual and the Kali LS, they've been introduced with the amplifier pack after the 1.2.3 update. I think that these amplifiers are really great sounding amplifier, and that's why I think I chose the Friedman amp instead of a Marshall, because the response, I don't know, it has something that for me was perfect, or almost perfect, but really nice. So let's dive into the editor, guys, to see what the hell I did in order to try to recreate that tone. 3 patches. Let's start with the first one. It's the rhythm tone. Okay, as always I turn off all the sound blocks so you can see all the things step by step. As I mentioned before, the amplifier is the US Gold 50, and there's nothing really crazy here apart from the presence that I turned 0, like no presence. Okay, so you can think it's kind of a dark sound. Actually it's not really, because then I compensate with the EQ. As I mentioned before, I really turned myself crazy to try to dial the perfect EQ for this tone, and I think that I finally found the sweet spot this way, and then using the EQ, and I will show you later. The cabinet is the Marshall 1960 412, and as you can see, the microphone is placed far away from the center of the speakers to have more of a dark sound. So the tone at this point, it's this one. And you can probably hear that the tone is almost there. So it means that this Friedman simulation is really close somehow to JCM 2000, to the DSL or the JMP1. Somehow. Better than the Marshall emulations that we have here. Because they are more vintage Marshalls and this is more modern. That's why I think that it does the trick. Anyway, overdrive, I used the Tube Screamer, okay, the 808. I think that if you search for Iron Maiden tone, you can find pretty easily that they are kind of addicted to this Tube Screamer overdrive, and some microamp as well, but that I guess for boosting the solos. So I think that this one is the right choice, and actually it sounds good to me. This is the sound with the tube screamers in front of it, in front of the amplifier. Okay, so sounds good to me. Of course, now it has to be refined, and that. So let's see what I did. As I did also on the AC/DC sound tutorial, I used a compressor after the cabinet. And this is because it helped me to have more focus on the tone. It will eliminate a bit of the bass and the treble somehow. It will compress the sound actually and make it more tameable, if this is a word, I don't know. And also, if you listen carefully to the original recording and if you listen to the first riff, you can definitely hear this compression. I don't know if that is a mastering compression or whatsoever, but I definitely hear someone, you know, that is just like trying to tame this sound. So also here I use the compressor. I have to mention that since the yellow comp and also the blue comp are recreations of guitar pedals and not studio compressors, they are not 100% transparent as their counterpart, their real counterpart, you know. But it gave me also a little bit of a mid-range tweak here and there, so that maybe helped me more to find that sound. So the sound with the compression on is this one. And I really like what the compression does to this sound for the recording purpose especially. I can really feel this kind of pumping, you know, on my playing, and I think it's really useful for that purpose. Anyway, let's go further, and I use the reverb as well. Room reverb, you can hear it on the original track. Kind of a lot of room reverb. The decay is quite long, the tone is really high, so it's kind of bright. And you can hear it more than usual. And this is the tail of the reverb, so you can hear it. Okay, so kind of a big room. And the sound with the reverb on, it's this one. Yeah, really helps me to recreate that mood. And finally, the EQ. The EQ, this made me go mental for a few hours. As you can see, I boost the 4 kHz in order to get a little bit of frequencies that I lost with the presence of the amplifier down to 0. And as usual, I cut a lot, not a lot, I cut the bass a bit. Also, I cut the mid-range frequencies on the 600 Hz because the sound somehow, the original sound was mid-rangey, Marshall, yeah, but scooped at the same time. So it was really hard. Like I'm telling you, the mid-range part of this tone, really hard to recreate. I'm really curious if, like, in the MOOER GE200 there would have been the DSL simulation at least to see if that would have been easier. But anyway, I'm kind of happy with the results right now. So with the EQ, the sound, it's this one. So okay, you can probably say, oh, I like it better without the EQ, as usual. Yeah, of course, like, I know that without the EQ there's more beef, it's wider, and maybe it's better for a live application. But on the record, as you probably guys know, if you follow me for quite a while, that the bass, there's not a lot of bass on guitar tracks in records, so this is why I always put an EQ and cut a lot of bass. Well, this is the first patch for the rhythm tone. The second patch is this one, the Maiden int for instrumental or interlude, and this one is for this part. Okay, as you can probably hear, there's a lot of reverb, but let's start with the overdrive. I think it didn't change anything. Yeah, it didn't change anything on the overdrive, so it's pretty much the same sound. The amplifier, I think, yeah, I just increased the gain a little bit, so it's 62 instead of 47. The cabinet, it's the same, didn't change much, but I put some chorus, analog chorus as well, not a lot, just to thicken a little bit the guitar, and to make it a little bit more, in a way, digital and like rack-like, even if it's an analog chorus. But I think you get my point. Just like to have that guitar, that it's not super dry, so the chorus helped me to thicken the sound and make it a little bit more mixing friendly as well. The yellow compressor, again, same settings as before, so I didn't change much. The EQ, I didn't change much also here, but the reverb, yeah, it's a whole reverb, so it's really big. As you can see, the decay is 71, so it's kind of a lot of decay. The tone, it's not super bright. You can hear it in the stems on YouTube. You can hear this kind of reverb, and the level is 5, so it's a lot. This is the reverb, okay, just the tail. Okay, so there's a lot of reverb going on. So yeah, this is the sound for the instrumental part. I mean, not the instrumental, I mean, you got it, they don't know how to call it. And then finally, this is the Maiden solo. And this is the first time, I think, that I switched on all of the sound blocks, all of them. The noise gate is just for, you know, to avoid the hiss, that it's a little bit more than usual. I mean, not super loud, but it is better. So let's start from the overdrive. Same, 0808, I didn't change anything. On the amplify side, yeah, I boosted a little bit the presence. Okay, so it's not 0 anymore, and the mid range is 71 now. Before it was 59. Okay, so more mid rangey and more high frequencies, of course, because it's a guitar solo, and I wanted to have it like more in front, more on your face. Chorus, same setting as before, and yellow compressor, same setting as well. What did I add? A digital delay. Time it's 396, so it's not a delay, like it's not tapping on time. I don't really care, even if it's a digital delay. I don't think it, in this case, it's really important. This is the repetition you can hear. Okay, 4 or 5 repetition more or less, and the level is 26. so it's not super loud. The reverb is, I think, yeah, it's the same reverb, so kind of a lot of reverb. And the EQ, again, it's the same. I haven't changed it. So basically, the solo is quite the same sound of the instrumental part. So you can probably, if you try to find the sweet spot on presence and mid-range, here you can probably just use the control button to switch on the delay if you like to have the same patch just with the delay foot switchable. Okay, so the sound with the delay on, it's this one. Yeah, and it's a really nice sound for guitar solos, especially for heavy metal solos. So I hope that you will find useful this tone also for other applications. So guys, that's pretty much it for this tone tutorial. I really appreciate all the compliments that I'm getting, and I didn't know that there was so many of you guys that really love Iron Maiden that much. It makes me really happy because I really like heavy metal stuff as well. Let me know if you have any concern, if you have any question about it, or if you have additional information on the tone of Iron Maiden. Write a comment down below, and I'm really happy to learn new things that I don't know. Also, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to my channel, but you know, it's kind of useless to say it at this point of the video, but still I'm saying it, and help me to spread the word and to make this channel grow a little bit faster. As always, thank you very much guys for your attention, and see you next time. Ciao! Whew.